Hey, we're back with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, 1940 Britain campaign. Finishing up August, we've already fought the battle for this month. It was a convoy attack here just outside Emden, right around here. If you can see the mouse pointer. Taking the battles a little bit slower now because of all the torpedoes in response to suggestions from multiple people. It'll make the videos a little longer because the battles will be a little longer, but took that approach in the last episode and I think it turned out pretty well. Before continuing on, there's one thing I kind of want to point out. I think I've probably mentioned this before, but I haven't really fully kind of walked through the story, if you will. If you look here in the help, in crew training, there's a statement in here that says, in the campaign, the crew can be trained up to trained level. Can level up further only if it gains experience in combat. That's just not the way it works right now in the campaign. If we take a look at our fleet list, take a look at these Hindustan battleships. Duncan has fought in a battle. Audacious has fought in 2 battles, actually. They're both repairing right now from their battleship duels. Soon be back with us. I don't remember. I think maybe Hindustan was in 1. Not 100% sure. I know Valiant has not been in a battle in this campaign at all. And look, veteran crew. And we know that that the battle generator kind of has ships that it likes to use and others that it doesn't. Good Hope has been in several battles. Kent has been in several battles. Black Prince, Drake. I think Antrim's been in at least 1, but some of these others, I don't think Hawk has. She's veteran. And also, Hawk hasn't even been placed in sea control. You know, we took the first 6 ships in the heavy cruiser class, put them in sea control. That was pretty recent, though. Only maybe 2 or 3 months or turns ago. Everything was in being for most of this campaign. So I don't think that's a huge factor either. Minotaur, I don't think has been in a battle. Veteran. Narcissus, veteran. And then you see the same thing on down the list. I think Melampus has probably fought more battles than the other light cruisers all put together. So, yeah, she's veteran. Sappho, I don't think she's been in a battle. Veteran. You get the point. Right now, intended or not, ships will train all the way up to veteran without appearing in a battle and without being placed in sea control. Maybe that's a bug. Maybe that will get hotfixed. One possible explanation for that this isn't a bug, but which would still make the help statement true is, as you know, you see it all the time in the comments. I've mentioned it probably half a dozen times over the course of the campaigns I've recorded. This isn't the end state of the campaign. The vision is that it will eventually be one long campaign that spans several decades, in which there will be more than 2 countries eventually, and there will be long periods of peace, you know, rising tension, arms races, naval treaties that limit what, you know, you can put on your ships, all that sort of thing. I think it's feasible, you know, kind of a reasonable, you know, explanation of this is that eventually in the campaign, crews will only train up to trained level during peacetime. And then in wartime, they can continue to go higher. There's only so many battles. The generator limits the size of the battles to only so many ships. And so Melampus has gotten thrown into several. We've never seen Sappho. That doesn't mean Sappho is sitting pierside, just chipping rust all the time. Ostensibly, Sappho is out there patrolling and operating under wartime conditions, and potentially even, encountering and sinking lone transports. She's operating under wartime conditions too, so I don't necessarily think it's unrealistic or impossible for her to get up to veteran status under wartime conditions. She just hasn't had the luck, or maybe she's had the good fortune, depending on how you look at it, of sighting an enemy close enough to engage. An enemy warship, that is. Maybe she's been doing shore bombardment. Maybe she's been doing a lot of convoy escort. Maybe she's sunk some submarines that aren't in the game yet. I think you get my point. For now, I just wanted to highlight that this statement is wrong as far as it goes. However, there's kind of an interpretation there that can be made that it is not a bug, and maybe this will make more sense once the campaign gets better fleshed out. Okay, I think I spent more hot air on that than I intended to. Let's go on to September 1941 and see what lies in store. Not much, as it turns out. Completed repairs on some ships. Omega's fixed. Omicron's fixed from an earlier battle. Manchester was fixed from that earlier battle. The no sound episode, I think. And the Germans fixed some ships too. How close are we to the completion of some of these? Okay, 5 months away for 2 more Canadas. 9 months away for 2 more Hindustans. And we've got some more Encounter class cruisers coming in about 6 months. The Encounter class is the one with the smaller guns and the max range that was intended to help impose blockade. We've got 11 of them. That hasn't happened yet. I've also got some ships sitting in the English Channel that don't need to be there. And one in Berry, too. Let's fix that. Should have done that last turn. Plenty of room, and well, Sunderland's actually kind of full. Send Enterprise to Rosyth. Send Omicron to Yarmouth. Send these two back to Yarmouth. There's no game reason to do that. I just like the idea of the destroyers sitting together in their own little port. Send Drake back up to Rosyth. Okay, nothing in Liverpool, nothing in Ireland, I think. Alright. Oh. Send these ships to... I have tons of room up here. Send Kent. Well, Duncan's repairing still. We'll send Kent and Black Prince back to Rozeth. Anything else in the channel? Might be repairing. Nope. Good Hope back to Rozeth. Okay. I don't think that home port location means anything for power projection and blockade. You know, a ship in Dublin would count just as much as a ship in Hull for that purpose. I do think it matters for the monthly transport losses, which I gotta say, we have seen zero. I don't recall seeing a monthly transport loss message in this campaign. I don't remember seeing one. If we did, we've seen very, very few, and I don't think there's been any. I could be wrong. Someone can point it out from a previous episode. It makes me wonder if the patch change with the VP to the. I wonder if that somehow deleted the messages. And in fact, maybe syncings are occurring, but we're not getting the messages anymore. No way to tell until we get to the end of the campaign and look at the summary. I don't think we have lost any merchants in a convoy battle. So if we see some German transports sunk in the end of the campaign summary, that would indicate that, yeah, they are happening. We're just not getting messages anymore. Anyway, nothing further to do in September. On to October. Okay, another convoy battle here just outside Wilhelmshaven, right by the Jade bar. This little area right here, here's Wilhelmshaven, that's the port. This body of water here, I believe, is called the Jade Bight. I guess I can't really see it on here, but I guess there's a river that comes in here called the Jade, or maybe that's just the name of this body of water. And then the entrance to this is kind of a sandbar somewhere in here that marks the entrance to Wilhelmshaven, and that's called the Jade Bar. And there was a convoy just outside of it that 3 of our O-class destroyers have zoomed in and are going to tear it up. This is what I built them for. Obedient Observer and Omicron are going to zip in there, try their best to sink 12 transports, and zip out before these cruisers can do much about it. This is the plan in any case. Let's turn off all the torpedoes. I don't want to waste torpedoes. May need them for some dealing with cruisers if things don't go quite as we like. RDF says they're straight ahead, and so does radar. While remembering, just tell them to shoot high explosive now. Got our torpedoes turned off. Obviously don't need the smoke yet. Nope, so I'm pretty close here. What's our conditions? It's daytime. It's a little cloudy. Okay. Do your stuff. I think with 3 of these destroyers, these merchants should melt pretty quickly. should melt quicker than that, I would think. Okay, work on this guy. I'm specifically clicking targets so all three of them focus fire the same one. Okay, do we have... Okay, let's just slow down a little bit here before I get in torpedo trouble without realizing it. Okay, this is still a merchant here. Oh, yeah, the cruisers are still way back here. Okay. Next, Freethoff. I'm not going to go back up to X5. I'll hazard X3 for the moment. Okay, so the cruisers are kind of over here. I want to keep the merchants between us and the cruisers. Okay, Freethoff done. Sidelets. I know there's like a big random list of names. They just draw the merchant names from the pool. Yeah, sure enough, they had already fired torpedoes. Sit down to screw it. I said I'd learned my lesson. I need to hold to it. X1. Yeah, but I kind of wish they had like a separate pool of names for the transports. You know, I mean, come on, that's a pretty well known battle cruiser name. Sidelets, Nuremberg, light cruiser, Dresden, probably a light cruiser. I don't know. Rostock, light cruiser. And not just historically, but I mean, you know, if you build a battle cruiser, you know, Seydlitz is in that pool of names, but it is for the merchants as well. Okay, that is not identified yet, but they're pretty close. 7 kilometer, 6.8. Close. Yeah, I should have smoked before now, probably. Just going to open range. Yeah, going over this way is fine. We'll shoot at these guys next. These aren't slow destroyers at 40 knots, but I think their cruisers are pretty, well, their light cruisers are 35. And their heavies, their Cormoran class, are 28. 27.8, but, you know. Okay, transport Cormoran done. Focus fire Nuremberg. Okay, yeah. Emden is identified. I think those torpedoes that they fired, that was probably that spread we saw earlier. Don't have information yet on the others. modest course correction to the right. So we can take Dresden and Mackensen under fire once Nuremberg is done here soon. You know what? Everyone target Cologne with your torpedoes. No, that's not what happened. Shoot at Dresden. Aim torpedoes at Cologne. There we, shit. Oh no, huh? That was a transport that I did with the torp. Which means there's other torps here, which I can't see yet. Tell you what. Let's come back over here this way. Omicron and Obedient have fired torpedoes at Cologne. Turn them off so that Observer doesn't pickle off torpedoes straight into Omicron. I've done that before. Oh, looks like we got some torps in the water. Which I think we will avoid. Oh no, Observer did fire, and I did almost hit Omicron. Lucked out there. Okay. Gunfire on Pommern, please. A German pre-Dreadnought battleship name. Okay, they hit one of their... I don't know if that... Yeah, that must have been the sinking Dresden that then took a German torpedo. Cologne has just fired something else, I think. That may have been that spread we saw. Yeah, you guys were right. It's easier dealing with torpedoes at X1. Ooh. Is Obedient going to make the turn in time, or am I... no. I'm going to have to intervene, I think. She's probably okay, but I'm going to make sure. Aha! That was Cologne that took a torp. Nice. Okay, Obedient can come back into the division. Cologne gone. That was a little icing on the cake there. Everyone's continuing to work on Pommern. There may be a transport or two that have gone out of spotting range, but I think we've just got it. Well, there's only two left within sight, at any rate. There is a radar contact here. I'm kind of thinking it may be a good idea to flip back around to a reciprocal course. I know they're just transports, but these 4-inchers do a pretty nice job, even at fairly long range for a smaller caliber gun. 7.2 kilometers away. And 8.6% for Omicron and a little bit less. All right, well, okay. Focus Mackinson. So there's Mackinson. That's the sinking Pommern. Yeah, there's still there is at least one transport that got outside spotting range. Currently unlocated. I think there's a cruiser not very far away. Yeah, right there. And because of that, I'm keeping it at X1 because I'm kind of feeling like at any moment we could get torpedo spots just right in this area. Which means I want to kind of make sure I keep the camera inside the camera field of view for the same reason. Right there. I don't think Omicron or Obedient have even been. They've taken no damage. I don't. Look, Obedient took 2 hits. Okay. I think it's time to egress. Tore up the convoy pretty nicely. Got the bonus sinking of a torpedoed German light cruiser. I think that's a fine day's work for our little squadron of O-class destroyers. Okay. So I'm disengaging. Watch me get in trouble right at the end with an X5. I've got my finger hovering over the pause button. As soon as Mackinson fully... Oh, no. Well, she's chasing us, I guess. Let's slow... I'm going to slow it down a little bit. What are you doing, Emden? Huh? She wants to fight. Speed up a little bit. We're doing about 37. Emden's undamaged. I assume she's doing her full 35. Or is at least capable of it. Observer is no longer drawing fire, and she was the preferred target all the way through. That suggests that they can no longer spot Observer. Hard to tell if those rounds were intended for Omicron or if they're just overshoots on Obedient. Ouch. Obedient's losing a little bit of speed now because of her flooding, which hopefully she can fix. Come on, dewater that. That compartment might be fully damaged. I'm going to break Obedient off just so she can do some, just make a couple turns to throw off accuracy. Nothing huge, just enough to give them a little bit of an accuracy debuff. Hopefully not so much that she falls way behind. She can't turn very sharp with that rudder anyway. She's back up to almost 37 knots. But even if I just keep making minor turns, that will eat up that small speed advantage. Oh, that was a misclick. Yeah, that flooding's not going away. Luckily, it was not in a propulsion space. One minute until she can smoke up again. Well, now a minute and a half. Now half a minute. And I've noticed that too. This cooldown on the smoke, it changes a lot. I don't really know what influences that, or if it's, again, is that a feature? Is there something causing that, or is it just a bug? I don't know. But it's interesting that obviously the cruiser still has Obedient spotted, but Obedient can't see the cruiser. On the one hand, she's going to have a taller deck house, a taller tower, and have longer spotting range. But on the other hand, also a larger target signature than a destroyer. I think I can speed this up. At least as long as the smoke keeps up. Yeah, there we go. All right. Nice job. Obedient Observer and Omicron. 1750 victory points. One transport got away, but of course we got VP for all the other ones. And one of our torpedoes found Cologne, and apparently it only took one, thanks to their few bulkheads. Okay, well, the war is going pretty well overall, and with some, not all, not even the majority, but with some of our ships in sea control. We're kind of, a lot of battles occurring right around in this area, off of Emden and Wilhelmshaven and Helgoland. So we're taking it right up to the coast. I mean, that's just random battle generator stuff. Just kind of throwing a little role-playing narrative in there that may not actually have a gameplay mechanic reason for it. In any case, we'll see what happens in November in the next episode. Thanks for watching.